Hey everyone, you are watching Otaku Movie Anatomy on Popcorn Talk Network. Today we are talking Mewtwo Strikes Back, the first movie of Pokemon. It's me and Yume holding down the fort today, so, once again, we're blasting off away!
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Otaku Movie Anatomy.
Oh, there we go!
Shit. Memories.
Yep, we didn't even use the Pokemon song.
I know.
We went M to M.
Oh man, I totally forgot that this movie featured this song.
Yep. Okay, great thing. So many cool things about Pokemon, the first movie. One of them is this song that they featured, which I actually have on CDs. No joke, I actually have this song on CD. Oh my god. I totally do. Also, we have In Sync was in this, and 98 Degrees also in this movie.
That's how 90s this movie is.
Yes. That song, that crazy song. All right, everyone. My name is Jonathan Messa. I'm going to be your host tonight. You can follow me at KaibaCat on Instagram and Twitter. With me always is. Oh my goodness, what is this? That song? Is it the song? It's that? Oh, it's me. It's me, isn't it? Is it me?
It's totally you.
It's totally me. I'm always messing this up. Everyone, I'm Jonathan Messa. You can find me at KaibaCat. You may please save me.
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Yume Ninja. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and comment on iTunes, and hit that thumbs up on YouTube.
Yes. We're off to a great start, everyone. All right, so we are talking about Pokemon, and obviously you're hearing lots of echo that's not going there anymore. We'll do the movie stats. We'll do it quickly so we can get right into Pokemon. We can hear you guys talking to us, obviously, online.
Yes.
And so we want to hear everything that you guys are saying, what you guys want to say about Pokemon the movie.
Yep. Strong nostalgia in this one, so.
Oh, I know, right? The feelsies in this film. Okay, it was released in Japan in 1998. 4Kids dubbed it and put it out in 1999 in the United States. It had horrible reviews from the critics. However, the fans have spoken, and it was a overall success. It made $163.6 million worldwide. Boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was definitely one of those things that was a phenomenon, and I don't feel like it could be replicated.
No. I mean, Pokemon, this was an era where, like, Pokemon owned, it owned this market.
It did.
Yeah, and the Pokemon cards and the card releases that they gave to us, like when you went to the theater and saw the movie, they gave you little cards. You remember?
I didn't go see it in the movie theater.
Oh, you didn't see it in the theater?
No.
Oh, so I was there, literally. I went by myself, and I was in high school.
Yeah, I was like a junior in high school.
Yes. Exactly, and then me too. I was a sophomore then. I went to high school. I was in high school. I went to the movie by myself, and I got my Pokemon cards and everything. I actually played the Pokemon card game, and I remember crying at the end of the film next to this woman and her children. She was there with a bunch of kids, so I think she brought a group of kids.
God.
And I'm sitting there by myself, this teenage boy sobbing at the end of this film. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. Okay, so we're going to get into it. I'm going to give you guys a movie synopsis, although you all probably already know this film. If you don't, then what's your problem? Here we go. I wrote this really fun synopsis, so I want to actually read it a little bit. So rocket scientists clone Mew, and they play God creating Mewtwo, all right? Searching for his place in the world, Mewtwo seeks his power, and how to ultimately control his power. However, he uses a poorly designed plan to lure powerful trainers to what's called New Island and clone their Pokemon so those Pokemon can battle to the death with his clone Pokemon. Ultimately, Ash is one of the Pokemon trainers that gets lured to New Island with a couple other powerful trainers. And they all get into the fray, and they all fight. Mew shows up, and Mew and Mewtwo have a muted battle.
Oh man!
Be here for the next hour. Ash gets killed in the process of trying to stop the fight. Ultimately, the tears of all the Pokemon bring Ash back to life. Yeah, we'll get into that later. And then Mewtwo realizes the error of his ways, so he takes Mew and his ragtag group of Pokemon, and they fly out into the distance to sort of discover his self and deal with his transgressions. And he ultimately, I said ultimately 3 times, wipes everyone's memory, making this movie completely null and void, except for us who have watched it.
I like that. It says
there it is.
Rocket scientists clone Mew.
Yes.
Like, why did they have to be rocket scientists?
They're always rocket scientists. In the Pokemon world, if you see a scientist, they work for Team Rocket. If they're not a Team Rocket scientist, then they're a professor. See, there's Professor Oak. See, the professors and the scientists. Scientists are Team Rocket.
But it's like, to clone Mew, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. I mean...
Oh, yeah, they're Team Rocket scientists. I should have wrote Team. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, you thought that I was saying they're rocket scientists.
Yeah, I was like, why is it rocket scientists?
No, they're team rocket scientists. Oh, we have someone. First time here, everyone. Pokemon hype, all this buzz, all this month. Thank you, Super Iron Halo.
Yes, thank you.
I love you.
Yes. And you guys have any questions or comments, we are definitely checking chat, so comment away.
Yes, let us know. Now, there's a lot with this film. There's a couple different pieces to the film. There's Pikachu's Vacation. We're not really going to talk much about it. We will talk a little bit about the 10-minute prologue, which is Mewtwo's story, and then it goes right into the film. But it's all really one film when you add in that prologue and Mewtwo's experience and what he went through. And it's very important what Mewtwo went through because it sets up the precedent for the film. Because Mewtwo is this tormented Pokemon who's been developed in a research laboratory.
And he's like self-aware because he was the second speaking Pokemon at this point, right?
Yes.
Because all the other Pokemon just say their name except for Meowth.
Yes. So we're going to get into that a little bit. This is the existential crisis of Mewtwo with Yume.
Yes, the existential crisis. So this movie, with all its flaws, it had a very, very sophisticated theme for a children's anime. And that's basically that Mewtwo is created in this laboratory and he just is trying to deal with, why is he created? What is the purpose of his creation? And it leads him on this very, albeit cliched, dark path to kind of ultimately decide that humanity is at fault and he must then destroy everyone. I was reading reviews.
Tropes.
It's like great tropes, but if you think about it, like, I feel like if this was like your childhood anime before that, it's not really a trope because it's probably the first time you experienced it.
That's a very good point. I like that.
It was, I've watched anime like growing up, so I've experienced these kind of things before, but like for me, from Pokemon, that was pretty big. Like they went from like, oh, let's battle and have these little monsters and balls into like this Pokemon is like, well, I hate everything. There's no reason for me to exist, so I will destroy everybody.
Yes.
I was reading some really funny reviews online, and there's one that literally talk about like how Mewtwo's search for purpose and meaning is similar to that of Grendel from Beowulf.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, really? And I had to go back and read Beowulf to kind of get it. And I was like, yeah, similar. Similar. But I was like, that is pretty deep coming from Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing about Pokemon. When you really get into it, it's actually really sad and deep. And even in this movie, they deal with the concept of Pokemon battling and what that all means and sort of how it's wrong, essentially, even for them to battle. It's essentially animal cruelty. Yeah, it's very like, for a Pokemon movie, it's pretty thought-provoking, especially if you're a child. I started watching this with my youngest brother, who's 10 years younger than me. So, when I was in high school, he was in elementary school. We were watching, I was like, man, this is pretty heavy shit for you. It talks about like him kind of, resenting that fact, and then he creates these clones who have to battle each other to the death. And like, I think since then you've seen other commentary about it. There's funny videos like College Humor did one, where just like, if there were actual Pokemon, you have this monster kind of enslaved in a ball, and you make them fight each other until they like are severely injured or die. So it's super cruel, but when you put it into context of what Pokemon started out, it was just kind of fun kids show, shelling like toys. Yeah. And you have this movie, which is kind of puts it into like an ethical construct. Yeah, it seriously is like PETA sent in a strongly worded letter, and like the Pokemon, the people who run Pokemon were like, oh wow, they do have a point. It is a strongly, yes, they do have a very good point. Real quick, Super Iron Halo, I will choose Litten out of the new Sun and Moon. Litten is the fire kitten, and I think it's totally awesome. I'm sure everyone is choosing Litten, but Litten looks awesome. Maybe after that, Poplio, just because I never choose a grass starter. That's just a side note for everyone out there. Sun and Moon is coming out, and the 3 starters were revealed. So just to clarify, the question was, for those of us who are excited about Sun and Moon, which starter are we all going with? And they have released the 3. Yes. I have to say Litten, just because I have 3 cats, and it is super cute. But if not, I'd go with Rowlet, just because of all the weird like bikini memes that have been coming out. It's so funny. But I will actually make a confession that I've never played a Pokemon game. You've never played a single Pokemon game? I've seen the series. I've never played a single game. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. That's actually, that's almost impressive to be like, our generation to not play a Pokemon game. And you play games. You play video games. Yeah, I play video games. You never got to play Pokemon. Yeah, I think it's,
I don't know what it is. I just never got into it. Like, I've watched people play games, and I still do watch people play games or battle. And like my youngest brother had it, and so he would play it. Just never got into it.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
I'm almost I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed by that. You've never played.
Yeah, it's been so long. I've just never played. And like, I think for a while I was interested in like the Art Academy one, but I was like, am I really gonna play this?
Yeah. How many? Yeah, and gosh, we have so many Pokemon spin-offs, so many spin-off games. Oh my gosh, yeah, Pokemon Snap, one of my favorites. So I love
Oh
Pokemon
man,
Snap.
like I will admit, like Pokemon Go is very interesting to me.
Yeah, right.
And then
I
all
can't
of the
wait for Pokemon Go, guys. Side note: if you're out there and you haven't looked up Pokemon Go, look up Pokemon Go. It's like you're living a real life trainer experience. You actually have Pokemon on your phone. You will walk around, capture Pokemon in the world, and you have to battle people. It's hopefully there's no bugs. There will be bugs. Of course.
There's definitely going to be
bugs.
some failures in this, but I feel like it's pretty exciting because then you have to interact with people. And then the whole Google Maps thing that they did that one year, where you could be a Pokemon master, you had to like find them on the world on Google Maps.
What?
It was like
I missed this.
It was like I feel like it was an April Fool's thing. Like if you caught all 150 original ones, you could get like a card that said you were a Pokemon master. But then they followed up and sent people cards.
Oh my gosh.
But like I literally spent like 4 hours trying to find a bunch of them. And I know I'm not the only one, but like Michelle, who is one of the hosts here, she found a lot. But we sank hours into Google Maps trying to find this.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, little things I didn't know. I mean, so the Pokemon universe really encapsulizes, you see what I did there with the Pokeball? Encapsulizes, I mean, so many different realms of entertainment. And, it has us spending hours of our day looking on Google Maps trying to capture Pokemon. And on top of that, we do have our existential meaning on like what our lives represent, what do they mean? And of course, Pokemon Black and White really jumped into that with, oh gosh, what was his name? The antagonist in that one anyway, but it wasn't really an antagonist, but his whole thing was to free Pokemon so they can be free. And of course he freed them by battling. It makes no sense. Which it always comes down to. Even in this movie, Mewtwo is going through his crisis and he's trying to figure out his place in the world. And what does he ultimately do? He creates a battle arena and has the Pokemon battle. And
so he's no better than the human people he's trying to destroy.
Exactly. He's like, you guys and what you're doing is wrong. So I'm going to show
you the same exact thing.
I'll show you how wrong it is by doing it. Although Mewtwo doesn't sound like that. He sounds more, like, I am Mewtwo. And it's crazy in this movie. I talked about the music a little bit because at that part in the end of the movie when they're fighting each other, all the Pokemon clones are fighting the original Pokemon. The song from Blessed Union of Souls is playing, and it's like, brother, why are we fighting? And it's so over the top dramatic. Like, I will say this about this film. It doesn't necessarily stand the test of time.
It does not.
Yeah. When you go back and watch it again, it still moves me in a lot of ways. It's still awesome because I love Pokemon. Yeah. But it's not really a good film.
It's filled with tropes and cliches.
Yes.
But
and it is the name.
But it is so strong in its nostalgia. And it's funny because of the existential crisis subplot in it. Like there's like an image that I have, I think it's on the screen, but like Mewtwo decides at the end of this that like he is not, it's like his failings is not based on how he was born, or that's not the purpose. It's how he acts and what his kind of like willpower is. So all of his choices really affect who he is. And like I found this thing on Tumblr, and it's literally like Mewtwo said that, not Gandhi, not Martin Luther King. It's some really deep shit for Mewtwo, like Pokemon.
You know what? Batman stole that.
Really?
Like, you remember Batman, the first Christopher Nolan movie? He says, it's not who you are, but what you do.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Christopher Nolan watched Pokemon and was like, you know what? I can make a great Batman film.
He stole that from Mewtwo.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. I mean, it is a consistent theme that we see a lot.
It's a consistent theme and a cliche, but like I thought it was so funny, especially because when I was doing research, I was like, oh my god, Mewtwo said that.
So yeah, since we're Otaku Movie Anatomy, we are going to credit that whole concept to Mewtwo instead of any other
anything came before Mewtwo, not valid.
Nope, Mewtwo or bust. Mewtwo or bust. Okay, so there is something to talk about in this film. The real heroes of Pokemon, those special people who blast off again.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, That's it.
Prepare for trouble.
Yeah.
Make it double.
To protect the world from devastation.
Gosh, I love listening to this.
Unite all peoples within our nation.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
To
Extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse.
I mean, it's just brilliant.
Team
I mean, this is so
Rocket lifts off at the
iconic.
speed of
There.
Surrender now or prepare to fight.
light. That's right. Let's
So Team Rocket in this,
Team Rocket.
they show up, of course, because you can't have anything with Pokemon without Team Rocket. And they really don't have a whole lot of purpose
They
in this
don't.
film outside of like exposition, kind
Yes.
of. They have like exposition. Oh, they're cloning Pokemon. They do a couple funny things. They do the dress up gag in this. They dress up as
Yes.
Vikings, which
Yes. Which, like, it doesn't make any sense.
and it goes to show how stupid Ash, Brock, and
Yes.
Misty. I feel like Brock should know better by this point. Brock is
Yeah.
older. He should know that when these same two people always come to help them, like Vikings dressed
Vikings.
up. Yes. Like, oh, we are Vikings, and they have total like it's totally racist, like their accents.
Yes.
And they like row Ash and the twerps, I'm going to go refer to them as the twerps, across the raging waters to New Island. And of course they capsize and they realize that it's Team Rocket and everything falls apart. I mean, it's one of my favorite moments in the movie. It's the Vikings of Team Rocket. But ultimately Ash and Misty use their water Pokemon to get to New Island because the boat capsizes and gets crushed. But we see Team Rocket also makes it. But they don't have any water Pokemon.
Yeah. Don't
So-
you have the one?
Yeah,
Right? They just have Meowth, don't they?
You know, they have Meowth. At this point in the show, I think Jessie, she had Ekans because Arbok should have evolved by this point because I think this is the start of Johto, like right before the start of Johto. That's
okay.
why we saw Donphan in the original in the opening of it. The steel type who rolls. He's not part of the original 151 or 152 if you count Missing No. No one counts that. So we've got okay. So Team Rocket has no water Pokemon. They should have Ekans and they should have Weezing. And they're not water types. Weezing can float, but there was no way they could have made it to New Island. So Team Rocket are magical bastards who can survive anything. Anything. They are the true heroes of Pokemon because
because if you think throughout the show, they have all of their plans, and every time they get foiled. Like they're always. You'll say one thing about their perseverance. It's just like they are people who don't give up, and even if they're like Wile E. Coyote, like hodgepodge plans fall apart, they're like, okay, we'll just try better next time, and they always manage to like bounce back.
Yes, Team Rocket, never say die, never give up. They're the real heroes of Pokemon. They make it to New Island, and who is Mew attracted to? Team Rocket.
Yes.
Mew hangs around with Team Rocket and floats around them for a long while until the clones are created.
He knows cool people when he sees them.
That's the truth. Mew knows cool
man.
people, and those cool people are Team Rocket. They've got a great slogan. They've got cool get-ups, and Team Rocket's always represented. Yes, there was an episode. Who is this is saying it? Jordan Hanlon. Remember James's disguise where he got inflatable boobs. Thank you. There's a lot of great things in Pokemon. Like there was actually an episode that was taken out of the series. It was a banned Pokemon episode. You guys could try to find that online where it's like a cross-dressing, James doing the cross-dressing thing. So
it was a little too extreme for the times.
Yeah, the American audience, they can't handle that. Let's see. They also broke the fourth wall way before Deadpool. Example, Pokemon 2000. Nicely done. Nicely done, Super Iron Halo. I love that.
Yes.
And it is a different Mewtwo in later films. Cog. So the thing is, or Sea Dog, they are always never giving up. They can get blasted off. They should be dead about 1,000 times over, but yet they're never dead. And one of the cool things, you guys, for Team Rocket, if you're Team Rocket fans, if you watch Black and White, Pokemon Black and White, Team Rocket's really awesome. They don't get blasted off for like 22 episodes, and they are freaking awesome. They actually win the fights against the twerps, and the twerps have to like escape.
Really?
I've
never seen it.
Some of the best Team Rocket stuff you'll find. Like they switch up
man.
costumes. They're in black instead of white.
I've seen images.
And they're like, you know what? We are going to change our ways, and they totally do, and they kick ass.
Oh man, I will say this about it, because I watched Pokemon when I was on TV. I watched it dubbed, and I rarely watch dubs. Team Rocket, their voice acting, I love it. It's very rare for me to admit this, but I love their voice acting. Their stupid intro it holds up. Their stupid intro holds up so well. It's still so funny. They're ridiculous.
It's true. The intro will always stand. In the Pokemon universe, you think Team Rocket, the intro hits. And Meowth. Oh, you said something about this interesting earlier. You said Meowth is the first talking Pokemon. And Mewtwo would be the second.
The second.
And are they currently the only Pokemon that actually can talk human speak?
I don't know. Let's ask chat. I have no idea if they're still the only two.
Yeah, outside of movies, guys. I mean, because I know some of the newer movies has like all the really legendary Pokemon. I don't think there's any other Pokemon that really can talk like Meowth can. And there was an episode in Pokemon where he's actually teaching him, where he's learning to talk and everything. I don't know if you ever saw that when he's actually learning to talk and like trains himself. It's actually really cool. Like Meowth is an awesome character. And in this, there are many mistakes, guys. And I do want to bring this up. Now, this film, outside of having some odd plot holes and some odd plot things, Team Rocket, for as awesome as they are written, they make some really stupid things, some stupid mistakes. At one point in it, and this is me totally nerding out, and I apologize for this because I'm totally that nerd who's like, well, at 22 minutes, I do believe that they said the name wrong, and they totally did. So up on screen, all the Pokemon are getting cloned, right? And my hand is doing this because they're going down the cloning machine. Yeah. That's what's happening. And the Pokemon are showing up on screen, and there's this little joke that kind of happens.
Yeah.
Team Rocket says, they're like, who's that Pokemon? And then they say the name of the Pokemon. Well, Scyther shows up, and they call him Alakazam. And,
oh, man.
And I was pissed. Like, I was sitting there, and I was like, that is not okay. Team Rocket should know which Pokemon
should know better.
They should know better. That is not okay. So if you guys watch the film, look for that little mistake. There's actually 9 mistakes in this film.
9 mistakes?
9 mistakes. That's the biggest one. There's some continuity errors, but that's the biggest one that really bothered me, is that Team Rocket named the Pokemon wrong. Although I do like the joke. The fact that they, did that little throwback to the Who's That Pokemon. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love that.
I just love that. Like, I was also reading something online where it was like, yeah, this was like great back in the day when like hand-drawn anime, and I was like, no, there's a lot of mistakes that are very like on the level of like He-Man and like Jim and the Holograms, kind of dumb mistakes where things go missing suddenly.
Yes.
Like certain cells didn't get put on.
And this movie is not without those flaws.
Yes.
It totally is. Another character I want to talk about is Brock. Because Brock is awesome. He might be my favorite character in Pokemon, and especially in the first couple series. I just love Brock, but he's a rapist.
Yes.
He's a little rapey. And
it's so true.
And the first like 5 lines he has in this is like, ooh, that girl's cute. Or outside of like when he's making food at the beginning, he's like, oh, that girl's cute. And then he looks at like Nurse Joey's picture, oh, she's adorable. Oh, she's cute. He's a little
such
rapey.
A creeper.
Yeah, Brock has got like a consistent boner. He's got a consistent poker boner.
How old is he supposed to be?
I mean, he's a little bit older than Ash, who I think is 12. We'll double check you guys in the chat. I think Ash is 12-ish when he starts a Pokemon journey. And of course, ongoing Ash joke is that he's somehow stays 12 for all like 20 seasons of Pokemon. Doesn't make any sense. He should be like I think I looked this up. He should be like 28 or 30 years old or something like that. But he's 12, I think, and Brock is supposed to be a couple of years old, like 16, 17. He's a teenager.
Oh, okay.
Which also explains why he has raging hormones. Yeah, and he's after every Jenny, every Joy.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, Super Iron Halo says the other Pokemon that can talk are Lugia, Lucario, and Entei.
Oh, Entei.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Ash is 10. Brock is 16. Okay. Explains the raging hormones from Brock.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, teenagers.
Yes, and I didn't realize. I mean, I loved the second movie. I didn't realize Lugia talked in it, but I don't remember because I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters when I was younger. But they also gave out cards for that. Let's see. Slowking did talk. Max Smith. Thank you. What? Super, I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyways, well, thank you. Sounds like puberty. Yes, Slowking too. Okay, yeah. Slowking could apparently talk because he's a psychic.
I like that. Like, chat can immediately fact check this for us.
I know. Thank you guys. Hey, you know what? We want to thank everyone in the chat. Like who's with us here tonight.
I know.
Like that's really cool of you guys. Like thank you for coming out and talking Pokemon with us. So I do want to talk about something, you guys.
Yes.
We want to talk about your favorite Pokemon.
Yes, your favorite Pokemon, chat.
Yeah, that's right, you guys. You hear this song? This is the Pokemon I Choose You song.
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah. You
know it's funny that I know all this stuff even though I've never played the game.
That's true.
It's kind of like Star Wars for me. I was exposed to a lot of it. I just never really watched it or played it. But the series and the movies I watched.
Yeah, it's okay. That's all right. I mean, you're so familiar with it because I mean, you still watch the show. We had the anime. So this is a Pikachu I Choose You song, guys. If you haven't seen any of the first couple seasons of Pokemon, the music is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the music is fantastic. So enjoy that. Typhlosion. Okay. So we want to hear your guys' favorite Pokemon. I'm gonna first, since Super Iron Halo is the first one to say it. Typhlosion is your favorite Pokemon. Very cool Pokemon. I dig that.
Oh, Sea Dog says Umbreon.
I like Umbreon. I like that Pokemon. We are spending time talking about our favorite Pokemon. I brought mine today.
Yes.
This is my favorite Pokemon. This is Butterfree. This is actually my favorite Pokemon. Has been ever since the Bye Bye Butterfree episode when Ash releases Butterfree, and I actually cried during that because he was saying goodbye to Butterfree and going through all the memories. I literally cried when he said goodbye to Butterfree. I love Butterfree because it's flying bug, awesome type of Pokemon, but can use Stun Spore, Poison Powder, Sleep Powder, Psychic, a lot of range of attacks, flying type.
I like
love
that it's kind of related to certain things that like butterflies do. I do like that Pokemon themselves. It's like, oh, it's based off this kind of animal, and the powers are based off stuff that kind of is realistic and happens in reality.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right. Even like, they take real animals and sort of morph them. Not all the time. Sometimes they just do some weird
Except
stuff.
for Pikachu.
Yeah, he's a mouse. He's an electric mouse.
Is he a mouse?
Yeah, he's a mouse. He's a mouse Pokemon, kind of. He's just a big fat mouse, essentially, right?
He looks kind of like a raccoon to me, like a yellow raccoon.
All right, who's your favorite Pokemon?
Mine is, so I actually have two, and one of them is Bulbasaur, just because, yeah, he's so cute. I don't know, like, I don't like Venusaur, I like Bulbasaur. He's kind of dumb, and the other one is definitely Mewtwo.
Yeah, Mewtwo, really?
Mewtwo. I don't know what it is,
You're
but like
attracted to power.
the sympathetic, like, tragic, fallen, like, anti-hero, anti-villain type. I like it. He's kind of like Loki from Avengers.
Oh, I like, yeah.
You're sympathetic to his cause because of, his backstory, but you know that he's gonna fail,
because he's doing the evil thing, but he has to turn.
Yes.
That's awesome. I like it. Mewtwo.
I liked him.
Nice.
He was, but you have to remember, like, when I was introduced to him, I was like 17.
Yeah.
So it's like teenage angst. But I've never stopped loving Mewtwo.
I love it that you fell in love with the bad boy of Pokemon.
That's who I am.
Like,
I'm a goth.
all he needed was like a tat and like a leather jacket, and he
just needed black eyeliner, but he had his like weird like
right.
it was kind of like his. You remember how he was drawn? He was kind of like exactly like Mew, but like he had this kind of breastplate, but it was his body.
Yeah.
It was like this weird breastplate.
Yeah. Yes.
He kind of looked like a mech, but also a Pokemon.
Oh, you're right. All he needed was a little like eyeliner for that ace, and you're good to go.
So good.
Make him all emo. He is kind of emo, though.
I like his design.
All right, let's see who we got. Some favorite Pokemon to hear from the chats before we go on talking about the movie. We've got Gregory Castillo. It says Pikachu. Well, very nice, Gregory. We got Connor Brown saying Cyndaquil. Oh, very much. Someone else with that Typhlosion/Cyndaquil, the first one. Let's see. My sir can do an impression of Mew's voice perfectly.
Isaac
nice.
Black said Dragonite.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Oh, Jonathan Messett. That's my wife. My wife is also on my name.
You're logging into comment.
My wife. Her favorite is Mew. My wife has Mew tattooed on her leg.
Oh wow, that's commitment.
So she has
That's such commitment.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Vulpix is adorable, and Vaporeon, your favorite Eevee variation.
Yes.
I like that.
Eevee evolution.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more Eevee stuff because Eevee's so popular.
Eevee is totally popular, especially with all the variations that Eevee can have. Yeah, I love Eevee. Yeah, come on, guys. I mean, we do have an Umbreon and a Vaporeon. I dig that. But your favorite, Max Smith, your favorite is, not favorite Pokemon, but of the Eevee evolution is Vaporeon. They have so many new ones coming out. Oh, nice. Thank you guys for sharing.
I can't even keep track of how many Pokemon they have now. It's like isn't it like 1,000 now?
I think we have to be close to 1,000, especially with
it's gotta
Sun
be
and Moon coming out.
900,000.
900. It's over 9,000. Just so you know, how many Pokemon? Over 9,000.
Over 9,000.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a stickler, being of the original series of the 151, the original 151. Yes. I do accept some Johto stuff going on because I enjoyed the Johto story, but for the most part, I'm a stickler for the original 150, or 151. Like, I really dig that, and I hated having to learn so many more, especially when I had the original grouping all down.
Yeah, and I can't even really remember all original 150. So at work, I work at Luke Creighton, so we were having this discussion like once, I think a couple months ago, about like who can name all 151, and I was like, I can't. And we literally had somebody who went through all of them and named all of them. I was like, that is so impressive. Wow. Like, how can you just pull that from your mind?
I always thought the only way to do that was to memorize the Poké Rap. If you remember the Poké Rap, if you guys are out there, you can look up the Poké Rap. Poké Rap, it's the original all 150 Pokemon, and it's in a rap song. Kind of a rap song. It's awesome and at the same time terrible, and it's one of those just like this movie.
I feel like Michelle has done her workout mix. I know I've heard about it.
She's got the Poké Rap.
Oh man. My gosh. Sea-Dog says 724.
There's currently 724.
Not Pokemon. Including
Zyr. I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know that one.
Zardodge. Yeah,
wow.
Thanks to the Poké Rap, we 90 kids. Yeah, exactly right, Super Halo. Yes, because of the Poké Rap, we know 150. But you're right. I don't know. I couldn't do it off the top of my head. Like I would totally miss them unless I like reviewed the Poké Rap and like.
Is the Poké Rap kind of like that Animaniacs like World of the Countries
song? Oh, that's
fun.
Kind of. Actually, yes. It's that's actually really good. Good reference. Animaniacs. You can watch it on Netflix. Yes, they actually. It is kind of like that.
I mean, it's a good system to remember things, but yeah, I've never heard it, and I could never name all 150. I can name like some of the starter.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, and there's one more question we like to throw to you guys before we go back to the movie real quick, and we will say, the movie it has its issues. We're probably gonna have to get into the issues of it a little bit more now. But if you had original starters, who would you choose? Mine is Charmander. Here he is. The original starter is what I would go with. Who's your original starter? Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle? You may.
Original starter?
Yeah.
Man.
Bulbasaur. Oh, of course, your favorite is Bulbasaur.
Yeah, Bulbasaur. Followed by Squirtle.
Followed by Squirtle. Charmander's last? Damn.
Yeah. No, I don't. You know what's funny? Like my little brother, when we watched it, he loved Charmander. And I was like, yeah, but he's orange.
That's why you hate Charmander?
Plus, I mean, to reference, I like turtles.
Wait.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
I like turtles. I really do, though. I love turtles. I don't like anything in the ocean. Like turtles, though.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll name off a couple of these, and we're going to go right back into the movie here. Let's see. Anyone have get a magic carp here? 500 Poké$. Thank you very much, Joey Samora. Love. Okay, there's another really cool Pokemon. We do get to see a really cool Gyarados in this film. Gyarados, an awesome Pokemon. My wife doesn't like him because his mouth never closes. Except when he bites someone, he's always kind of got his mouth open, his tongue hanging out. So just so you know, Gyarados is a mouth breather.
That's terrible.
But Gyarados does evolve from Magikarp, which is one of the most hilarious things in Pokemon. The fact that Magikarp, one of the most useless Pokemon, who I love for some reason, evolves into one of the most powerful, I think, Pokemon, which is Gyarados, and we do have a cool Gyarados in the film. So one of the biggest points of this film is when Ash dies. Now this is towards the end of the film. Ash runs in front of Mewtwo and Mew's battle because he's seen all the Pokemon basically killing each other. And they're all falling into heaps of blood and gore, but they're not really bloody because it's a kid's film. And Ash gets blasted by the attack of Mew and Mewtwo and gets turned to stone.
Yeah.
Now, this part of the film, outside of having all of its qualm, this part of the film will just destroy your heart because Pikachu runs out to him.
Yes.
And is just crying,
oh my God.
Choo, Pikachu, and starts electrocuting him to try to get him to wake up.
Oh man, that gives me chills just talking about it. Oh my God.
And all the other Pokemon start crying.
Yeah.
And which dogs can't cry, Pokemon can cry. And this is the thing about Pokemon, which we didn't know until this movie. Pokemon tears can bring you back to life.
Pokemon tears are like a phoenix down.
Yes, I like that. Yes. Pokemon tears equals phoenix down. If someone could make that meme, that would be amazing. Pokemon tears equals phoenix down.
It does. All right, Connor Brown said the same thing. That scene makes him cry to this day. He's 23. I am 34, and I am getting teary-eyed just talking about it.
It really is. It's so sad. And Pikachu just doesn't stop electrocuting him, trying to bring him back to life. And of course, the collective tears, start flowing into Ash from around the stadium. And then Pikachu's the final tears that, get him to wake up and come back to life. And it is so, I'm going to pull a Michelle. It's so fucking sad. Excuse me. Bleep me out. Can we bleep me out for that? But it is so sad. Excuse me if anyone's young watching this, but it really needed that bomb because
it's like sad, but it's also like if you are a Pokemon fan, it was so powerful. Like, I mean, if you think about it, all of us are like, it still makes us cry to this day. That's the lasting effect of this movie.
Yeah. And in the film, I mean, gosh, it's just plot holes galore, mistakes. Blessed Union of Souls singing
Yeah.
over this battle that is totally overdone. Mewtwo with the horrible strategy of trying to take
Yeah.
over the world, which doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Really, in the end of the day, when that moment happens and we lose Ash, you just crumble, and this movie sort of all comes together. And even it turns Mewtwo's heart. And,
It does.
And that's what really.
Yeah,
ends
that's what I
this
love about
film.
it. He's just like he doesn't want to be a villain. He just happened to have a really bad start.
Yeah. He's just so tormented. I see. So everyone did say a lot of people love Charmander, except for Max Smith. Bulbasaur's with you on that last question. I love that you guys
Yeah.
are with that. People, we've got the Feels Man from Joey Zamora, and Pokemon Tears would be one powerful Spirit Bomb. Tears of the Spirit Bomb, and Max Smith. Pokemon Tears equals Unicorn Blood. I do like the Phoenix Down. I'm going to stick with Phoenix Down.
Phoenix
that was
down.
totally solid.
It was just like, oh, party's down. Yeah, Phoenix down.
Yeah, so we're going to talk favorite moments of the film, you guys. We want to hear about your favorite moments online, and we want to talk to you about some of your favorite moments of this film. We probably already talked about your favorite moment of this film, but we'll talk about a couple other favorite moments for a minute before we go into our rating of the film. So, Yumi, do you have any other favorite moments you want to bring up from this film at all?
I'll be honest, the part that sticks to me the most is that prologue where they create Mewtwo, and then he has that whole beginning of his existential crisis. I was like, yo, this shit is so deep. And that was at 16, 17, so I was like, oh man, this is so good and so unique.
Yeah.
But to this day, I still like that scene.
Yeah, that whole prologue.
He's just very I don't know, he's just very dark very quickly.
Yeah, he's a straight badass.
Yeah.
Side note about that little prologue, there is a little clue for you guys. It's an Easter egg that you guys can watch in that 10-minute prologue. One of the trainers that Mewtwo destroys in Giovanni's gym when he's fighting for Giovanni is Gary Oak. Watch it. There's you'll see him knock out a Pokemon, and then you see half the person, and it's Gary Oak. A little Easter egg for you guys to check out. Gary Oak loses to Mewtwo, so fun little thing they throw in. So that's a favorite moment. Let's see if we got any favorite moments out here. You guys go ahead and type in your favorite moments. We'll bring them up in a second. Outside of the Vikings, I love the Vikings part. Yeah. A lot of my favorite moments are usually Team Rocket. I just really love Team Rocket.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ash's death is fantastic. And not in a great way. I mean, it's in a sad way.
It's just very, very moving.
Yep. Shoot. I mean, really, I think those we kind of hit that. The favorite points. I don't know what else really outside of that. I mean, Nurse Joy in her costume is kind of cool. She's got that weird looking costume that seems like it's out of some other anime. That was kind of interesting. But no, overall, those are the biggest moments that I really love in this film. So we're gonna go. Let's see if anyone's got any moments right here. We're gonna talk about. Yeah, it's an episode in Pokemon actually where Gary lost. That's right. The battle Ash has in the beginning. Okay, so Ash has a battle in the beginning. That's right. We want to talk about the opening.
Yeah.
Where Ash's battle happens with that random trainer who recognizes Ash and says, "Are you Ash Ketchum?" Why did I say it like that? Are you Ash Ketchum?
And then Bulbasaur uses the solar beam.
That's right.
I forgot about that.
Bulbasaur takes out a Rhyhorn with Solar Beam. Was it a Rhyhorn or Rhydon? I was thinking it was a Rhyhorn. It was a Rhyhorn. And then, of course, he brings out Squirtle. Squirtle beats him a champ. And then the guy throws out 3 Pokemon to fight Ash, which is totally illegal.
Yes.
You can't throw out 3 Pokemon to fight it. And Pikachu, okay, guys, a little issue here. Pikachu knocks out all 3 Pokemon with a Thunderbolt, but he also knocks out a Golem who's immune to electric types. So WTF, mate.
Yeah. Get your shit straight, Pokemon.
guys.
The movie.
Right? Oh, this is nice. Okay, one other part we're going to bring up before we go into our ratings. CDog77S, thank you for reminding me.
Yes.
Clone Meowth and Meowth talk. Now, this is a great moment because Meowth is talking in English.
Yes.
And Clone Meowth, where all the other Pokemon are fighting, killing each other, Clone Meowth comes up to Meowth and is just like, I don't want to fight. But he's like, meow, 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 meow.
Yeah.
And Meowth responds and is like, oh, that's really interesting. How could you say that? Oh, what a fascinating thing. That's an interesting point. Oh, yeah, you're right. We don't need to fight. Oh, well, we should. And he says, we should be looking at our similarities and not our differences.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Pokemon is laying down philosophy.
Yeah, it gets so philosophical, but in a very funny way.
Yes. And I really dug that. Pokemon is teaching kids how to live their life, but outside of beating small animals and doing that. It was really teaching a lot of life lessons. And another moment is when Pikachu and Pikachu are fighting, and Pikachu refused to fight, and the other clone Pikachu is slapping Pikachu in the face and just keeps slapping him until he's tired. That was just horribly sad.
Oh my god. Which is funny, I find it funny that nobody said that Pikachu was their favorite in chat.
Oh, one person. We saw
really?
one. Yeah, it
Okay,
was just
one.
one person. But yeah, you're right. I mean,
And-
Pikachu, didn't not hold in this chat
Yeah,
room.
and then like on top of that, like nobody ever says Raichu. You know, like
Yeah.
nobody.
No one says Raichu. I know one person, Thomas, if he's ever watching this. My friend loves Raichu. That's his favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's mad because you can never find a Raichu plushie because no one loves
Yeah,
Raichu.
because nobody loves Raichu.
Yeah, and he found one once and that was it. So he holds on to it with dear life, but he can't ever
Yeah.
find another Raichu plushie. The opening Don Fan fight, nice. Billy Crawford's Pokemon theme. Yeah, I love it. That opening theme was awesome. Don
The
Fan
part
fight
where
is
the
really cool.
Vikings were from Minnesota, that makes me laugh so
That's true, they
hard
were.
on the inside.
Oh, yeah, don't you know there? Oh, we're Vikings. We're going to roll you now to a new island now. There you go. Let's see. And last thing, just learn how to the Jennies and the Joys apart from their hats. Oh, that's how you tell the Jennies and Joys apart?
Oh, I
Their
didn't know
hats?
that.
Dante Miller? I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Do
that.
they have something different in the hats? That's... Okay,
That's
I'm going to
interesting.
look that up. If you guys are out there, that's really cool and
Yeah.
interesting. Raichu is always in my Pokemon backup party because he's a backup. No one wants to choose him. That's sad. We're going to rate this film right now, you guys. Thank you for staying with us. We're going to rate it out of 5. You could do as many 4.3, 4.4, whatever you want to do. I mean, it's kind of loose, but out of 5, what do you give this Pokemon movie?
Usually I'm really, really harsh, but I'm going to say this is a 4 for me just based on nostalgia. Like, I just have such a strong emotional, it's just a really good part of my life when it happened, and then the memories I share with my brother about it. It's just like, I can't rate it poorly. I still like the movie. I know it's got so many problems, but it's still watchable to me.
If you guys have never seen this show before and you're here with us for the
know.
first time, just know this. This is an amazing moment because
Because I'm so harsh on everything.
She is the toughest rater on this show. I mean, even when we're like, well, we'll give it a 3.5 because of this and that, and we'll try to rate something higher. Yume's like, that's a 1.
Yeah.
Like, she is rough. So
I feel like I'm getting a 0 before, like half a star before.
you totally are that person. I'm really amazed. It's the feels. I love it. Yume, I'm gonna go with you with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a 4, not because necessarily it's a great movie. I could, if I was just from a technical standpoint,
Yeah.
if this movie we were just technically rating it, I would rate it a 3. But the feels and growing up with this film and watching it again, even though it technically wasn't a great movie,
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was kind of a perfect storm for this movie. Like, the Pokemon franchise was taking off, and it was just kind of like the big thing. Like, there was really no huge kind of epic thing in anime before this, I feel. Like, you had
At least in the American culture that really caught on like this. This was wildfire.
It was just, everything was on fire. And
Yeah.
I feel like the Pokemon movie came out at the perfect time, and you hadn't had enough time to watch the series. Like, you were already committed to it.
Yeah. I dig it. Yeah, so I got to give it a 4 also, and that's because of my nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's still appealing to me. We've got also Connor Brown giving it a 4 out of 5. Not a masterpiece, but some great lessons to kids and creates nostalgia. Thank you, Connor Brown. You were absolutely right. Dante Miller with a 4 as well. Everyone's kind of with that. Matthew North is a 5 out of 5. Thank you, Matthew North. We appreciate that. As always, Pokemon.
Yeah.
Sea-Dog with a 5, and Super Iron Halo 5 out of 5 too.
Gregory Casillo gave it a 4-piece chicken nugget with fries. With fries.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and Max Smith remembered Dugong. That's awesome. With fries. With fries.
With fries. Not just a 4-piece nugget by itself. With fries.
I'm loving you. I just want to say we've got a great chat tonight, you
Yeah,
guys.
you guys in chat are like amazing tonight.
Nice. And I'm really sad because, guys, we've done our rating and that's all we've got for tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked our Pokemon movie. We've done everything we needed to do. So we're going to actually turn this over to Yumi so we can find out what are we doing next week.
So next week we are doing Full Metal Alchemist, the movie, Conqueror of Shambhala, and we will also be doing our first giveaway with Loot Anime. So watch and keep ahead on social media to find out more about that.
That's right, you guys. We're going to be giving away stuff finally on this
Yeah,
show. So
so
watch
yeah.
next week and get something free from Loot Anime. If you don't know about Loot Anime, then what the heck? You want to tell them a little more about Loot Anime real quick? This is awesome.
So Loot Anime is under the Loot Crate umbrella, where you subscribe and get a box of cool exclusive stuff every month. Loot Anime specifically focuses on Japanese pop culture, mainly around anime, and we will have somebody from Loot Anime next week with us.
Pretty cool stuff.
So it's going to be pretty cool.
All right. Well, you may tell everyone out there, where can they find you?
They can find me everywhere on the internet at Human Ninja.
And of course, you can find me everywhere on the internet at @KaibaCat, KaibaCat. You guys, thank you for being with us this week. Thanks for being part of the chat. We'll see you guys next week when we're talking Full Metal Alchemist. We'll probably have some more people hanging out with us.
Yes, we will definitely have Michelle and Max back. They are both off tonight.
Oh man, we're gonna have a lot of people.
Yeah, full house.
Oh my gosh, we'll see if I'm here. All right, you guys.
All right, thanks again,
Till
guys.
next time, we'll see you guys. Thanks so much.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.